Side walls are done, top string is done. Now we are on to the throat lace and the break-in. So the reason why, just a little history, the reason why these throat laces are more popular in the throat string is because the original String King mesh had a breaking issue, had a tearing issue if you used a sidewall string. And so you kind of had to use this throat lace to lessen the force and the abrasion of the string on the mesh. Obviously people had been using shooting strings as their throat string before, but that's really why it became popularized. With most of the newer meshes, especially Type 2, you do not need to use a throat lace. It can help just keep your hero mesh and your String King mesh and throne mesh lasting a little bit longer. And honestly, I ended up liking the feel of it, which is why we keep using it. But just a little etymology, not etymology, a little history for you. So, going to be going in from the left side of this throat. Going to go up through the first diamond on the next 9 diamond row. So as you can see, this sidewall string went through the last 10 diamond row, so the 10th 10 diamond row. I'm going to go up the furthest left diamond of the next 9 diamond row. And then I'm going to go back down through the 5th diamond. Now as you can see here, I explained this in our OptiQ video, the string is coming straight out. Instead of putting it back in so that that flat section is pointing up, I'm going to turn that flat section over and then feed it through. This is just a little thing. Oh, sorry. Then you're going to feed it around the back side straight through. It's just a little thing I do that I'm superstitious might, I think it might actually increase ball retention. Most likely not, but it's something I do. So going to go from the inside out of the 3rd throat hole. Going to go back up through that middle, that 5th diamond, and same thing. Instead of letting that straight section point up, I'm going to twist it so that it faces down and go the inside out. And tie myself a fancy little overhand knot. That was a terrible Scottish accent. I found out that when I do accents, most of the time I end up doing an Australian accent. But I can't actually do an Australian accent if I try to do an Australian accent. So, the more you know about me. Once that overhand knot is tied, going to even things up a little bit. Oh, and make sure that is straight. There you go. So you got yourself a beautiful looking throat string. And now it is time to pound this bad boy in. Going to adjust that camera a little bit. Grab yourself a pocket pounder. We have a whole new batch of pocket pounders that we are whipping up, and you'll be able to buy it on our website. But here I've just got my little ball on a shaft, and I'm going to start pounding this bad boy in. Since this is a mid-high pocket, preferably, I'm not going to worry about pounding it in too much down here. What I'm going to worry about is loosening up that channel right up top and stretching things out a bit, so that I can have a nice mid-high pocket. Really want to loosen things up top and then just kind of slide it through the bottom if I do. If you want a nice defined channel, you're actually not going to touch that bottom section at all. If you want a really baggy pocket, you're going to pound it in a lot down here. But for this purpose, I'm just going to really focus on the mid-high and then also loosening up the top part so this stick doesn't become illegal, and it also helps keep your head from pinching if you don't have too much tension up top. I'm really not going to pound these top left corners and top right corners because I want them staying stiff so that the ball travels right through this channel. If you want, you can slide it kind of like this so it goes right in the channel. That is your broken in pocket. As you can see, it's nice and mid-focused. Can still drop low. Has a nice channel. There she blows. Onto the shooting strings, and we out of here.